going to talk about suchness. Suchness means the reality of things, which means our true Buddha nature, our true mind, our true essence. We all have the Buddha nature, but why can't we live like a Buddha? Today we're going to awaken our faith in the Mahayana teaching of our own suchness. Suchness itself, it cannot really be described with words because words are provincial and are incapable of denoting the suchness. But if we try to explain suchness with words, it will have two aspects. The first is the aspect of truly empty, and the second is the aspect of truly non-empty. Let's first talk about truly empty. Never been related to any defiled state of existence. Suchness is not corresponding to any defiled existence of our mind. So it's not related, it's not corresponding with our agitated mind that's full of greed, anger, and ignorance. That's not our true nature. That's not our true self. For example, just like magnets only attract things that has magnetic field, such as iron or a needle, but it doesn't attract anything, fabric or plastic, because it's not of the same magnetic field. So our true mind is not attracted to any deluded state of mind. It's always at peace, and it's pure and clear. We can explain it with two parts. Suchness is free from all marks of individual distinction of things. First, it's free from all marks. That means all forms, all kinds of judgments, or the world of objects. For example, if I ask you, who are you? You might say your name, your gender, your profession. That's what we think make up who we are. But that's just still individual distinction of things. True suchness is away from all of world of objects. Second, suchness has nothing to do with thoughts conceived by the deluded mind. The conscious thinker itself, the conscious mind itself, is actually empty in nature. The perceiving subject and the world object both are empty and unreal. It's not who we truly are. It's not our suchness. It's not our reality of things. There was a monk from Korea in the Tang Dynasty. His name is Wang Yo. His friend wanted to travel to China to further their study in Buddhism. One night they decided to stay in a cave. Wang Yo was very thirsty, so he looked for water. Finally, he heard the sound of water and he started drinking the water. And he thought, oh, how great and refreshing. And in the morning, when he woke up, he realized the water he was drinking was actually rotten water from human skull. He wanted to throw up, but at that moment, he came to great enlightenment. He realized everything is created by our deluded mind. That's why we have all these experience of things. It's all created from our own mind, and it's empty. It's not real. So that's the first aspect of suchness. The second aspect is truly non-empty. Because it's empty, it's naturally endowed with all these excellent qualities that we originally have. You just let go of the deluded mind, it will surface and come right out. There are 6 excellent qualities that we naturally have. The first is light of great wisdom. We all have lights. We're all shining. This light comes from our innate wisdom. We have the wisdom knowing the emptiness of all delusion of the ego, and we have the wisdom of knowing our own suchness, our true existence. So that wisdom will give us great light, which means great strength. In the Tang Dynasty, there was a master named Dao Ang. He was teaching at the Hangling Mountain Temple. He taught till it was late at night and dark, but they didn't prepare any candles, so all the students, they were complaining about the darkness. Master Dao Ang raised his hand and a beam of light started shining and it lit up the entire lecture hall. All the students, they were astonished. The master said, "The light has always been here. It's shining as usual, nothing strange at all." That's like our Buddha nature. It's always here. It's always shining. It's our usual state of existence. It's not a miracle. It's not fantasy. It's our actual self. So know and believe in your own light of great wisdom. Number 2, illuminating the entire universe. This light is illuminating and shining and helping the entire world. When you have the true essence, you will see the entire universe as one. You will have equal compassion toward all beings. In the Ming Dynasty, there was a master named Lam Tzu. He is the 8th patriarch of the Pure Land Buddhism. He cultivated for a while. He decided to reside in the mountain of Yunqi. And that mountain had a big population of vicious tigers, but he stayed there anyways. After he stayed up in the mountain, all the tigers became his disciples and stopped harming people. All the villagers, they were admiring the master. This place has been in drought for years. The villagers decided to beg the master to pray for rain. So they went up to the mountain and asked the monk to perform some magic so they would have rain. The master said, "I don't have any magic. All I know is chanting Amitabha Buddha's name." So he led the villagers to walk along the dry field chanting Amitabha Buddha's name. And with his footstep and his chanting, rain started falling. And they're like, "Wow, this is more amazing than magic." Why is this happening? It's not just because of Amitabha Buddha's power. It's actually because of our own essence. We all have the power to help all sentient beings, to pray when we are not using our deluded mind and using our Buddha nature to live and have great compassion for all living beings. So know that you are illuminating the entire universe. Number 3 is true cognition. This is talking about our consciousness. Our consciousness actually can see 3 different states of existence. Number 1 is the state of representation. Number 2 is the state of image. And number 3 is the state of suchness. For example, when I see a person, first I see the state of representation. How tall, how short, how attractive, I see his appearance. So that's the state of representation. Second, if I close my eyes and I imagine this person, I see the state of imagery. I will have my own judgment of this person. I will keep the image of this person in my mind. That's how I remember this person. The third is the state of suchness. That's when I see beyond the appearance and beyond my own judgment of the person. I see this person as Buddha. I see his suchness. I see his real existence. Enlightened person always see everything and everybody as Buddha. When you're awakened, you see beauty in everything and everybody. So that's number 3, true cognition. Number 4, mind is pure in its self nature. So we're back to the purity of the mind. This is kind of like emptiness. It's empty of all delusions. Greed, anger, and ignorance is not our true self. Our true self is clear, pure, clean, and clear, shining mind. For example, if you are chanting the Buddha's name for 20 minutes, maybe for 5 minutes you are concentrating on chanting Amitabha Buddha's name. But for the 15 minutes you are having wandering thoughts about how cold, how hot, what you're gonna do later, what that person said about you. You have all these wandering thoughts. So which one is the real you? Which one is your true mind? In reality, the mind that is having all these wandering thoughts, you think that's the real you, but that's not you. That's the deluded you that doesn't really exist. The real you is the one that's been chanting single-mindedly, because your true Buddha nature is always in samadhi, is always in deep concentration without wandering thoughts. Believe in your pure mind. Number 5, the mind is eternity, bliss, self-nature, and purity. These are the 4 virtues of nirvana, or 4 virtues of Buddha. So that's the real self. It's eternity because it lasts forever. It does not die when this body dies. The end of this life, it doesn't end. It lasts forever and ever. It's eternity. And it's bliss. The person who's enlightened, who's living in their suchness, is always happy. It's a quiet joy coming from inside. It's not the happiness from outside. Winning the lottery or buying a new home or having some kind of accomplishment, it's not coming from the outside. It's all from within, from your own true nature. You know the existence of your suchness. You have this joy and happiness. That's true Dharma in your heart. And the self-nature, you find your true self that has no selfishness. It's not the ego, but the selfless self that is in control of the emotion, that doesn't have any ill feeling toward anyone. That's your true self. And then purity. It's always pure without any deluded thoughts. So these 4 are the virtues that we all have to begin with. The last self-nature is refreshing, coolness, immutability, and freedom. So these 3 are actually the summary of the first 5. Refreshing, coolness, that's talking about our prajna, which means our wisdom. So the light, the illuminating, the true cognition, it all means our wisdom, our great wisdom. Okay, so that's prajna. Immutability. It's unchanging. That's talking about number 5. It's eternity, bliss, self-nature, and purity. That's our true virtue that's never changing, forever firm and always there. That's called our Dharmakaya, which means our true body, our essence body, or our spiritual body, our own suchness. Okay, and the last one is freedom. It means number 4. Our mind is pure, it's freedom, it's deliverance. Deliverance of all the storms that's going on in your mind, because they don't really exist. You free yourself from this convoluted, agitated, and stirred up mind. The greatness of our own suchness, it's truly empty and it's truly non-empty. It's actually talking about just one thing. It is what it is. That's the way things should be. That's our normal state of existence. So we need to do 3 things. First, we need to have faith. We have to believe in our suchness. Once you believe it, you're already successful, becoming a Buddha. You need to have deep faith, just like you believe money can buy things, just as you believe drinking water will keep you alive. That's how deep you should believe in the true reality of things, your own suchness. Second, you need to contemplate on it, which means you meditate on it. Think about it all day long. I am light of great wisdom. You can say it like a mantra in your meditation. Keep saying it. That's called the permeation of suchness. So the suchness will induce manifestation of itself to grow bigger and bigger. And then you have great mind power. Lastly, we have to use it. Just like you were a beggar before. Now you find this priceless jewel in your clothing. You exchange it for money and change your life. You don't beg anymore. We're not a beggar. We're actually very wealthy in our spirit. So use this great spirit of yours and use it to live a joyous and abundant life. So that's the class for today. Thank you for listening. Amitofo.